Good morning, everyone. You've imagined this person, maybe consciously creating lists of qualities, envisioning features, describing them to friends when asked, "What's your type?" Maybe unconsciously carrying template built from past loves, from media, from desires you don't examine, from needs you can't name but feel deeply. Either way, there's version of ideal partner living in your mind. And this person, this actual person who's entering or about to enter your life, might match that template in surprising ways, might hit markers you didn't know you had, might fulfill desires you've been carrying silently, might be answer to question you've been asking universe or God or yourself in private moments. But they'll also surprise you. Will differ from template in ways that initially confuse or challenge you. Will have qualities you didn't know you needed. Will lack qualities you thought were essential. Will reorganize your understanding of what type even means. Because actual love with real person who has flaws and strengths and complexity is always more than fantasy, more complicated, more surprising, more challenging. And if you let it more rewarding than any version you constructed alone. Here's what love of your life actually signifies. Love of your life doesn't mean only love, doesn't mean all other loves were false or meaningless, doesn't erase past relationships or make them IR relevant. Means this love is significant, is transformative, is person who changes your understanding of partnership, is relationship that becomes reference point, is love you'll measure other experiences against even if this one ends, is love that matters in ways that shift who you are, that expands your capacity, that teaches you things previous loves couldn't teach, that reaches parts of you that were dormant or protected or unknown. And of your life means this love integrates with your actual living, isn't separate fantasy, isn't escape from reality, is woven into reality, is part of daily existence, not just special occasions, is person who fits into your life and stretches it simultaneously, is love that works practically while also touching you emotionally, that handles mundane and magical both, that sustains through boring and beautiful, that's present for years, not just months. What specifics reveal about recognition? Age E matters because it tells you life stage, tells you whether they're building or established, whether they're exploring or consolidating, whether they're in same phase as you or different phase. Could be same age as you, sharing generation, sharing cultural references, sharing similar timeline for life events. That similarity creates ease, creates shared language, creates parallel trajectories, or different age, younger or older enough to create gap. That difference creates complexity, creates different perspectives, creates need to bridge gap through communication, not assumption. Either way, age is marker. Helps you recognize when you meet them, helps you understand context they bring, helps you assess compatibility beyond just attraction. Name matters because its identifier is what you'll call them, is what will become familiar, is sound that will create emotional response just through association. You might know their name already, might know someone with that name, might have feelings about that name based on past associations. And those pre existing associations might create initial bias, positive or negative, that you'll have to work through. Or name might be unfamiliar, might be unique, might be from different culture or background, and unfamiliarity might create intrigue, might signal difference, might indicate they'll expand your world beyond familiar. Physical characteristics matter because attraction is real, because physical presence affects chemistry, because how someone looks influences initial response whether we admit it or not. They might match your stated type, might have features you've always been drawn to, might create immediate physical attraction that makes everything easier initially, or might differ from stated type, might have features you thought you didn't prefer, might create slower attraction, might require you to discover beauty instead of immediately recognizing it. And discovering beauty, learning to find someone attractive through knowing them, often creates deeper bond than immediate physical pull, creates attraction rooted in substance, not just surface. This reflection invites you to consider what qualities matter more to you than physical specifics, emotional availability, humor, ambition, kindness, integrity, compatibility. Physical matters, but physical alone doesn't sustain. If you could have perfect physical match but incompatible values, or imperfect physical match but aligned values, which serves you better? Clarity about priorities helps you recognize love of life when they appear, even if package differs from expectation. This reflection invites you to consider what past relationship taught you about what you actually need versus what you thought you needed. Past loves reveal. Show you what works for you and what doesn't. Show you where you compromise too much or too little. Show you what you can tolerate and what you can't. Those lessons inform recognition, help you identify person who's actually right versus person who looks right, what you should know about meeting love of your life. Recognition might not be immediate, might not be lightning bolt, might not be I knew the moment I saw them, might be gradual realization, might be friendship that becomes more, might be person you overlook initially who reveals themselves slowly. Don't dismiss someone because fireworks don't happen immediately. Don't assume absence of instant attraction means wrong person. Give people chance to reveal complexity. Sometimes biggest loves start quietly. Start with comfort that deepens into passion. Start with friendship that transforms into romance. Start with they're nice that becomes I can't imagine life without them. Timing might feel wrong initially. They might appear when you're not ready, when you're healing from past, when you're focused on career, when you've decided you're fine alone, when circumstances are complicated, and timing feeling wrong creates temptation to dismiss, to say, not now, to protect yourself from disruption. But love of life often arrives when least expected, when you're not looking, when you've stopped forcing, when you've released desperation. That unexpected arrival is pattern, not exception. Challenges will exist. Love of your life doesn't mean effortless, doesn't mean no conflict, doesn't mean you never struggle, doesn't mean perfect compatibility in every domain. means challenges are worth navigating, means person is worth fighting for, means relationship is worth work because foundation is solid, means struggles create growth, not just pain. If you expect effortless, if you think love of life means no difficulty, you'll abandon real love when normal challenges appear, will mistake real for wrong because real includes friction. And your work matters. Meeting love of your life doesn't complete you, doesn't fix what's broken in you, doesn't solve internal problems through external solution. You still need to be healthy individuals, still need to have done your work, still need to bring wholeness, not just need, still need to be partner, not just recipient of love. Best version of love of your life happens when two whole people choose each other, not when two half people need each other to feel complete. What prevents people from recognizing love of their life? Rigid expectations. They must be this height, must make this salary, must have this degree, must look like this, must be from this background. Rigidity creates blindness, creates dismissing actual right person because they don't match imagined checklist, creates protecting yourself from surprise through control. Flexibility allows recognition, allows discovering that right person looks different than expected, allows being pleasantly surprised instead of rigidly disappointed. Fear of vulnerability. If I admit they might be love of my life, I give them power to hurt me, safer to stay detached, safer to protect myself. Fear creates distance, creates keeping person at arm's length even when they're trying to get close, creates sabotaging connection through protection. Vulnerability is required. Love of your life requires risking, requires opening, requires choosing connection over safety, past wounds unhealed. Last person I thought was love of my life destroyed Emmy. Can't trust that again. Can't believe in that again. Past pain creates legitimate caution, but past pain can't determine future. Different person, different circumstances, different you if you've done healing work. Projecting past onto present prevents seeing what's actually here, prevents giving new person fair chance. And timing resistance. I'm not ready. I'm too focused on work. I just got out of something. My life is too complicated. They deserve better than what I can offer right now. Timing resistance is sometimes wisdom. Sometimes you genuinely aren't ready. Sometimes protecting both people from premature relationship is right call. But timing resistance is sometimes fear dressed as wisdom, is excuse to avoid risk, is protecting self from vulnerability through rational sounding reasons. Distinguish between actual not ready and scared pretending to be not ready. What you should do if you think you've met them. Pay attention. Notice how you feel in their presence. Notice how they treat you. Notice whether actions match words. Notice whether you're more yourself or less yourself around them. Notice whether life feels bigger or smaller with them in it. Attention reveals truth, reveals whether this is actually significant or just chemistry, reveals whether foundation is solid or just intense. Communicate openly. about what you want, about what you need, about what you fear, about what you hope for, about where you are emotionally. Love of your life requires honesty, requires showing up authentically, requires risking being seen fully. If you can't be honest with them, if you're performing or hiding or managing their perception, they're not love of your life. Love of life is person you can be real with. Give it time. Don't rush to label. Don't force into relationship before foundation is built. Don't skip stages because intensity makes you want to. Love of your life can withstand proper pacing, can handle building slowly, can respect process of actually getting to know each other, and trust yourself, your gut, your discernment, your sense of whether this is real or just compelling, your assessment of whether they're actually right or just available. You know things intellectually can't always explain. You can sense whether person is yours, even when logic hasn't caught up. Trust that knowing while also verifying it through time and experience. The power is yours. It always has been. Let me introduce you to the love of your life. And when you meet them, whether recognition is immediate or gradual, whether they match your template or surprise you, whether timing feels perfect or complicated, your job is staying open despite past wounds, releasing rigid expectations, paying attention to how you feel and how they treat you, communicating honestly, giving it time to develop, and trusting that love of life feels different from other loves, not because it's perfect, but because it's right. Take what resonates, softly release the rest, trust yourself. And listen, love of your life doesn't mean only significant relationship, doesn't mean you haven't loved before or won't love again if this ends. Means this love teaches you something essential, changes you in necessary ways, shows you capacities you didn't know you had. That teaching, that transformation is what makes them love of your life. Not perfection, not ease, not absence of challenge. Impact, growth, expansion, becoming more yourself through loving them. So when they appear, when age and name and physical presence match description or differ from it, but feel undeniably right, be brave enough to recognize them. Be vulnerable enough to let them in. Be wise enough to build slowly. And be open enough to discover they're exactly what you needed, even if different from what you thought you wanted. Take care.